Good evening, class. My name is Deontay Turner with the Colangelo College of Business at Grand Canyon University, Class Management 605 Leadership and Organizations, and I'll be discussing the benchmark organizational design, structure, and change presentation. Our objectives for tonight will be introduction to the organization, identification of the organizational issue, ramifications and consequences, effect of organizational structure, design, and culture, the embodiment of conscious capitalism, an improvement plan, managing challenges, strategies for leading teams, and fostering collaboration. Fortune and survey partner Hay Group established the world's most admired companies ranking to arrive at the top 50. 4,107 executives, directives, and securities analysts were asked to select 10 companies they admired the most. These are the 7 dimensions in the U.S. that companies have to abide by in order to make the list: innovativeness, quality of management, long-term investment value, social responsibility to community and environment, people management, quality of product and services, financial soundness, wise use of corporate assets. The company I selected was Bank of America. So here's a few facts about Bank of America according to the Brand Hopper cited in 2023. Bank of America was founded in 1904 as the Bank of Italy, made by Amedeo Peter Gianni. Among Bank of America's most significant acquisitions was the 1983 purchase of Washington State Bank, Seafirst Corporation, the largest U.S. interstate merger to date. Bank of America is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. In 1988, Nations Bank Corporation and Bank America Corporation merged to form Bank of America Corporation. It's one of the world's leading wealth management, corporate banking, and investment banking companies. They serve various clients, including corporations, government institutions, and individuals. As a direct competitor to J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo, it serves 10.73% of all deposits in American banks. As I was doing my research on Bank of America, I noticed that there was many times where Bank of America was sued by the U.S. government. So the identification of issue: Bank of America charged illegal junk fees and opened fake accounts. Bank of America wronged its customers by withholding rewards on credit cards, duplicating fees, and opening accounts without authorization. Bank of America illegally gave customer credit cards and bank accounts using their personal information. A $35 fee was charged to clients when their purchases were refused due to insufficient funds under company policy. As a result, the bank charged a single faulty transaction multiple times. So what that meant was every time their accounts was overdrafted, it continued to charge them an additional $35. To compete with rival banks, Bank of America offered cash and points for credit card customers. However, tens of thousands of customers were illegally denied their bonuses. Numerous laws related to consumer protection were violated during this situation with Bank of America. Right now, we're going to discuss the ramifications and consequences. A few ramifications: customers were cheated out of their money due to excess fees. Customers couldn't know when or if a merchant would resubmit a transaction to the bank. Accounts were closed due to illegal activity. Consequences due to their faulty nature of Bank of America: the bank was ordered to pay over $100 million to customers and another $90 million in penalties. For improperly garnishing customers' wages, the company had to pay $10 million in fines and another $225 million for mismanaging unemployment benefits during the pandemic. Another consequence was the loss of customers. Organizational structure. Organizational structure is very important when you start thinking about Fortune 500 companies, and organizational structure determines how work flows. It aligns and links various parts of the organization, allowing it to function at its best. The Bank of America adopts a traditional hierarchical structure through its U-form organizational structure, encompassing the various divisions and subsidiaries that follow more flexible H-type and M-type organizational structures. By imposing rules and directives across the organization, Bank of America executive team doesn't necessarily consider original needs and requirements. The company's hierarchical nature makes strategic management flexibility challenging as the company expands into new markets. As a large and globally diversified company, Bank of America needs a structure that caters to varied market conditions. Its structure determines its performance against its major competitors, including JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo. According to the Bank of America website, this defines their organizational culture. Their core values is to deliver together, act responsibly, and trust the team. The culture is defined as shared interests. They're diverse and they include everybody. Doing things that matter. So that means like philanthropy and volunteering. They've raised a lot of money over the past 2 years just through their volunteering efforts alone. And their leadership is described as collaborative, inclusive, and they engage employees and motivate them to take action. So with that, what that means is they encourage their employees to be philanthropists, to volunteer, because at the end of the day, it comes back to the company and it can benefit them in the long run as far as promotions and rewards throughout the company. Embodiment of conscious capitalism. This is a topic that we have discussed all class for the past 8 weeks. The goal of conscious capitalism is to make the world a better place for people and the environment. Conscious capitalism follows 4 guiding principles: higher purpose, stakeholder orientation, conscious leadership, and conscious culture. The concept of conscious capitalism goes beyond the ideology of profit maximization. It emphasizes culture, career goals, and other social obligations instead. Leaders who are conscious of their impact on their teams inspire loyalty and deliver high performance consistency. Being that that's the goal, and being that Bank of America was sued for millions of dollars, my take is they don't embody conscious capitalism because Bank of America scammed customers by creating fake accounts and charging illegal fees. Bank of America didn't place the needs of its customers above its own. By engaging in illegal acts that didn't benefit the company over the long run, Bank of America acted against its higher purpose and kept the company in the wrong direction. Due to illegally opening accounts, the company lost its customers' trust, losing customer loyalty in the process. So how I feel and my take on conscious capitalism, I feel that all of this could have been avoided if somebody within the company would have just raised their hand and said, hey, there's a problem. We need to fix it. Reach out to their customers and explain the situation. But instead, they continued it for months until they finally got caught. And even when they got caught, they didn't own up to the fact that they intentionally was scamming people out of their money. And anyone that embodies conscious capitalism can accept responsibility and say, you know what, we messed up. How can we rectify this situation? How can we satisfy our customers to ensure customer loyalty? But in this situation, they didn't do that. Now we're going to talk about the improvement plan using Carter's 8-step change model. There's 8 different steps. First, you have to create urgency, and to do so, get people talking and thinking by starting honest conversations. Form a powerful coalition. Decide who the true leaders and key stakeholders are within the organization. Next, we're going to create a vision for change. What that means is we're going to choose the values that will drive the change. Next, we're going to communicate the vision, incorporate the vision into all aspects of operations, from training to performance reviews. Next, we're going to remove obstacles. Hire change leaders to lead those changes. Obstacles can also mean people who is resistant to that change. So as a leader, you would have to figure out, how do we remove those people that is resistant to change? Next, we're going to create short-term wins. Reward team members for contributing to the success. Build on that change. After every win, analyze what worked and what didn't. So what that means is if you create a plan and you implement that plan, what you have to then do is go and evaluate that plan Some things may work within that plan and some things may not work. So what you have to do is figure out a way to make the things that didn't work, how to make that better in the long run. And lastly, we're going to anchor the changes into corporate culture. Make change values and ideals part of the hiring and training processes. What that means is once you hire people for the job, explain what your ideas and your vision is for the company. And periodically, you have to go in and you have to reaffirm what those ideas and those visions are for the company to ensure everybody's still on the same page. Managing challenges. For me, these are challenges that may occur: absence of senior leadership, lack of transparency in leadership, low employee morale, questions aren't being answered, an insufficient level of communication, too much focus on the bottom line. And the subsystems would be departments, programs, projects, and teams. And all of these somehow intertwine. As far as teams, absence of senior leadership and lack of leadership can become present within teams, because within a team, everyone wants to be in charge. So if there's no specific person that was designated as team leader, it can cause challenges within that group. Let's just say for departments, most departments is all about the bottom line. And because of that, it can create low employee morale. So if you focus on other things besides the bottom line, that's how you keep employees engaged. And programs, questions aren't being answered in regards to those programs. You can have a program that deals with reconciliations, but if people aren't asking those questions, they wouldn't know about those different programs that do exist and projects. An insufficient level of communication. So if there's a project and everyone wasn't communicated effectively on what the purpose of that project is, it can make for a challenge to get that project complete. As I was reading this and I was reviewing conscious capitalism and I was reviewing servant leadership, these are a few lessons that I learned. Developing servant leadership skills and emotional intelligence is crucial. And it's crucial whether you're at the lowest level or you're the CEO of a company. Servant leadership and emotional intelligence is very important. A company's image and culture depend on the quality of its management. If you have people that don't really care about the company, but they just care about the position they're in, that can make for a very toxic culture. Always lead by example. Provide evidence that the change will be effective when you lead by example. Maintain the people first culture by living up to the higher purpose. When we put people first, we can appreciate their feelings, their actions, their motivations, and that goes along with being a servant leader. Servant leaders put people first, and it's not always about the bottom line. Enhance employee and customer satisfaction by creating a comfortable work environment. No one should feel they should have to go to work and it's a toxic environment. Customers should feel satisfied by the service that any business gives them. And employees, not only employees, but the customers keep the business running. Avoid narrow-minded thinking by keeping an open mind. That's very important. Ensure employees are current on what is expected by providing training and development courses. And that's a key one, because with the whole scam, had training been done properly or had courses been taken, people wouldn't know right from wrong. Be transparent and direct in your communication and hold yourself accountable. And all of this falls back to no one at Bank of America wanted to hold anyone accountable. It was always a blame the next person type of game, when the senior management should have just owned up to the fact, hey, this is what we did. We apologize. What can we do to move on? And how can we fix the problem?